I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
If you have a dream, don't just sit there. Get your ass up and make something happen. Sometimes you just have to move. Do something. Make a call. Reach out to someone. Google something. Learn.
Hold yourself accountable, don't be so quick to. You gotta be the change that you wanna see. You gotta hold yourself accountable, don't be so quick to.
Oh, this is a really, really, really short week. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Let me just hop over to my Facebook page. Y'all know how I do. Give me 1 second. Good morning, Hearts of Fire. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just going over to my Facebook page to make sure my podcast is set up properly. Okay. And now I'm going to edit the post. Hey, Fire and Wine. Good morning. I got frog in my throat this morning, but come on in. Come on in. We're going to be talking about accountability. Come on in. But in the meantime, these are the vibes.
Last night I saw you standing.
Come through.
Come
on.
Started pretending.
Let me stop because IG will cut me off. Hey, So Blessed 2021. Good morning. Good morning, Pat. Good morning. All right, let me go over to the podcast and look at the chat and see who's on. Hey, Mika Morris. Hey, AG. You're on YouTube this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day. This is a short week. We were off Monday. I'm off tomorrow. Yep, another medical procedure. I have to keep up on my health. I make sure that I go and get every test that is needed. As we get older, right, it becomes more and more important that we pay attention to our bodies, right? And we go for all kinds of testing to make sure that we don't have any cancers, we don't have any issues that can't be fixed, no ulcers and shit like that. And so my upper GI is tomorrow. My favorite part of these surgeries is the anesthesia, but ever since they fucked me up with the hysterectomy in my kidney, I be scared, y'all. I used to love that anesthesia. Who else love anesthesia? When they go to get a surgical procedure and you getting ready to get that anesthesia, how does that anesthesia feel to you? It feels good to me, especially when they put it in your arm and they leave you in twilight for a few seconds. When the anesthesiologist likes you, they'll put you in this euphoric state for a little while, which they call twilight, right? And you're actually up, but you're high. Listen, Michael Jackson, I get it. I fucking get it, Michael Jackson. I do. I love that shit. But the unfortunate thing now is when I go to get these surgical procedures, the joy that I used to get out of getting ready to get the anesthesia is turned into a fear of being in the operating room. So, the last surgical procedure I had, I appreciated my anesthesiologist, who I know I'm going to get a bill from, who gave me a little twilight. That's it, and that's all. So wish me luck tomorrow on my upper GI, y'all. Hopefully that'll be the last. I still got to get the tit smash. Okay, I still got to get the tit smash. I go for a mammogram every year around the same time. I'm a little bit late this year. Normally I do it by February, but we're already at the end of February and I haven't even gone to get it yet. But I get my tit smashed every single year around this time. Ladies, I don't know, because men get breast cancer. How do they get their breasts examined? Do they just have to feel up on their own little nipples to see if they got lumps? Because men get breast cancer. Ladies, just a reminder, good morning. Just a reminder for you to go get your breasts smashed. Make sure you are attending to yourself. Just like we're trying to attend to our mental needs, we have to make sure we're attending to our physical needs, okay? At all times, especially when you're getting older. But wait a minute, y'all. So anyway, Wendy Williams show. Wow, Wendy. She really not coming back, y'all. You know, at first when they started talking about she wasn't coming back, that Sherri Shepherd was hosting the show in her absence, right? And then Wendy Williams came on social media with her son while she was walking on the beach. Hey, Madison, good morning. And said, oh, that's silly. I'll be back. You know, I'm coming back. You know, she made it seem like she was coming back, right? But they made an official announcement that said the Wendy Williams show will be ending, right? The Wendy Williams show will be ending, and Sherri Shepherd's show will be beginning, and her show will be called Sherri. Now, I haven't watched, good morning, Rashmi. I have not watched Sherri host the show. Hey, Glamour47. But I heard from the people that have been watching, I heard that she's doing a pretty good job. I did. Get your coffee and your tea. I'm drinking ginger tea still because I still don't have no cream. I'm going to go to the store today, though. I'm definitely going to go to the store today. You know, so I heard that Sherri Shepherd was doing really good. So congratulations to Sherri Shepherd. Wendy Williams has been around for a really long time. She just needs this rest. She, you know. Rashmi said Wendy will be okay. Wendy should get herself a podcast. Yep, these podcast folks are making millions. I agree. And I really believe that Wendy can make some money doing podcasting because she's good at what she does, right? When you hate someone for their gossiping abilities, that means that they're doing their job, right? And most times people hated Wendy because the shit she told, her hot topics, right? But them shits was good. Right? Them shits was good. So I agree. Wendy Williams should just go get a podcast. I agree with that shit 100%. And she'll have the backing. Her podcast won't be, you know, starting out like mine. She'll come with followers already. She'll be monetized from the beginning. We don't have to see her. People will definitely tune in. I agree with that. I agree. I definitely think Wendy Williams should go get herself a podcast. And call it the Wendy Williams. Well, I don't know if she can use the Wendy Williams show, but it's her name, right? Hey, Christine Beauty Lounge. Good morning. Good morning. So what else did I want to talk about on here today? There was something else that I wanted to talk about besides Wendy fucking Williams. And I forgot that damn fast. Hey, Johnny Leon Hill. Good morning, Johnny. Listen, I am going to tune into Arts and Crafts tonight. I have been so busy and I have been so tired. By 8 o'clock at night, I am asleep most times, okay? I am, you know, unless I'm hopping around the street or happen to have some company or whatever. But, you know, by 8 o'clock, I'm tired. Even when company come over, I'll be falling asleep. AG could tell you, I'm good for a good doze, okay? Let me sit on the couch and I will go, you know. AG says she needs to go to bed, in my opinion. You know what? You saying Wendy Williams needs to go to bed. I think she would do good at a podcast, honestly. I do. Oh, baby, but guess who? Guess who was posting on social media yesterday? Okay. I mean, she posts all the time, but Portia Williams, listen, her body is looking good. And she's letting y'all know that Simon is doing it up for her. Simon is doing it for her. She got her man. She don't give a fuck what we say, how we feel. She's looking good. She looks happy. She's feeling good, it seems. And so congratulations to Portia Williams. You know, I don't know why people get upset when other people, when they don't agree with other people's relationships, right? And I mentioned this before on Coffee with Friends. You don't agree with the person's relationship, but you don't have to live in that relationship. That's their person's business. Okay? Why do we get so upset because of who people choose to be with or how they met? Why do we really care? Why do we care? But anyway, y'all know what today's topic is. Let me go over here and show y'all what today's topic is, okay? For those on, oh, no, that's not the topic. The hell? Oh, I thought I had the right. 1 second, y'all. Oh, where is my topic? Oh, well, I guess it's not there right now, but I'll show it this way.
Hold yourself accountable, don't be so quick. You gotta be the change that you wanna see. You gotta hold yourself.
Oh, I messed up this morning. Okay, but the topic is, all right, accountability. Challenging your loved one and holding them accountable is a form of love. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all need me to say that again? Challenging your loved one and holding them accountable is a form of love. Why do people get upset when you call them out? You know, if I love you, right? Is it love if I'm supporting your mediocre behavior? Am I? Am I loving you when I expect you to be more, do more, and I allow you to sit and do less? You know, love is a funny thing. We say we love people, right? You know, when you tell your partner you love them, it's so much depth in loving that person, right? It's so much depth in loving a person. Love is hard, y'all. It ain't easy in the beginning. It's all flowers and shit. But when it comes to time in a relationship where things are occurring in your relationship and you call people to the carpet to take accountability for shit, and they argue and it turns into a big fuss, why do people get offended when you are holding them accountable? I want to know. You know, how are we supposed to continue to grow in relationships? And what kind of love am I giving you if I allow you to be less than? Right? To be less than. Why do people have trouble taking accountability for the things that they should be doing or the things that they're not doing, and you call them to a carpet? That is a form of love, people. We have to recognize that as a form of love. It is not an attack. It is not for you to get offended, right? It's a form of love. And the way we communicate these things should be in a loving way. Right? And now I know sometimes we get nasty and arguments happen and we call people to the carpet, right? And people get offended because of tone, right? But sometimes people get offended even when the tone is nice and you're like, listen, babe, listen, honey, I need you to do better. These are the things that you're doing, and these are the things that affect me. These are the things that hurt me, right? Why? Now, I have been in situations where, hey, Future, hey, Kids Grief Journal, good morning. Hey, Mel's Touch, good morning. I have been in relationships where someone has done some things to me, hurt me, right? Or I felt some type of way. I felt unsupported in general. Hey, Natalia, I felt unsupported, right? And I've been in situations where I would come to my partner and tell them I feel unsupported or I don't feel loved, right? And I'm coming to them with an open heart and with hopes that we can address the issue, right? But what sometimes happens is, hey, the General, hey, Ralph Milton, my little big brother. Sometimes when you come to people with the things that are affecting you, they get upset. They get defensive. Why are you defensive? Because I'm coming to you to tell you that you hurt me. Johnny Leon Hill said, leaving them alone is a form of love too. Oh, okay. Johnny got a message for y'all asses today. He said, leaving them alone is a form of love too. Let them be them if they can't receive correction. True. Let them be them. When you say leave them alone, are you talking about leave them alone in the moment, or walk out the motherfucking door and leave them alone? I need clarity on that, Johnny, right? You know, I want to say that, in my opinion, true the general, that's what we say. That's what we say. It's all in the approach. The general said it's all in the approach. But I'm going to be honest, the general, I have been in situations where, good morning, Damaris. Good morning, mother. I have been in situations where I have approached conversations very nicely. I mean, what the fuck? Did I need to come with flowers and candy? The fuck? A box of chocolates? Hey, Amparo. Hey, Shirley Grand Rising. Good morning. Happy hump day. Do I need to come with flowers and fucking chocolate? Right? I've been in situations where I've said things very nicely. Babe, you know, I want to talk to you about something. You know, that thing you did the other day, it really made me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel like I'm not supported. It hurt my feelings. Right? And I might get a response that, oh my God, you're such a baby. That's hurtful. Oh my God, you just complain about everything. That's hurtful. Right? You know, when you're dealing with someone and you're telling them something that you need them to be accountable for and to make corrections in their behavior, and they're not doing that, hey, oh, and they're not doing that, that damages the relationship. But real love is pulling each other to the carpet, right? Because we want to grow. We want to continue to grow in positive love. Not the kind of love that's thriving on defensive behavior. Hey, Lulu Bells. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So Patricia Pat said, love has no expectations. Love is allowing your loved one to be free to be themselves. The only one you can expect things from is oneself. Most people have no idea about love. Anybody want to comment about that? Let me just show this on the screen for a minute. Because Pat, I'm showing, for those on YouTube and Facebook, you can see the comment on the screen that came from Pat, right? Love has no expectations. Love is allowing your loved one to be free to be themselves. And that's true. That's one of the things, you know, I need in a new relationship. I need to be myself. But in being ourselves, when we're in a relationship, we still have to be mindful that there's another person in the relationship. Right? And although we're not asking our partners to change necessarily, we are asking them to be mindful that they're not in a relationship alone. And that there are certain things that they might need to make adjustments to because it might affect your partner. How do you deal with situations where you're in a situation and your partner is making you feel a certain way, but they're not taking accountability for how you feel? Okay, Rashmi says, I don't agree fully with Pat. There are expectations. You should expect respect, truthful, supportive, loving, etc. It's two people in a relationship. Right? Yes, we all want to go into the relationship and be ourselves, right? But within being ourselves, once we take on a relationship, guess what the fuck we got to do? We got to adjust a little bit and compromise. We can still be ourselves, but we got to be mindful that there's a whole nother person in the relationship. There's a whole nother person in the relationship, right? And so we have to compromise. This is where you're at. This is where they're at, right? But if both people are doing this, or one person is doing this, one person is overcompensating in a relationship, and the other person is doing this, right? You can't have that when there's two people in a relationship. Yes, you should be yourself, but you need to compromise. There's two people in a relationship. There is. Hey, Coach Donovan, good morning. Defensive walls. What about them defensive walls? Do you think those defensive walls were just developed in that relationship? Or do you think people that have trouble dealing with taking accountability, right? Compromising in relationships, do you think that comes from a deeper place? I'm looking for I'm looking for answers. Okay. Okay, let me go up. Lulu Bell says, that's difficult for me right now. I just broke up with my boyfriend because he got violent. That's a good reason to break up with him. And I'm sorry to hear that, Lulu Bells. I'm very sorry to hear that, but I'm happy that you broke up with him. Some people stay in abusive relationships for a very long time. I'm glad you saw a way out. Lulu Bell says, I don't trust what I believed what love even is. I believe you. That's because you just freshly, right, came out of a toxic situation. So right now you're in this toxic whirlwind, needing to enter a healing space so that you can find love again. You can identify with love. And the first identification of love is loving ourselves, especially when we come out of a toxic situation, right? We got to focus on loving ourselves. That's what I'm doing. You know, many of people inbox me or comment on my pictures and they go, oh, you are living your best life, right? And I had to say to myself, well, damn, what the fuck was I living before? You know, what the fuck was I living before? If I'm living my best life now, what was I living before? Sometimes we stay in situations and we don't realize how unhappy we are until we are free. Okay. And until we come out of that toxic whirlwind and we start working on healing, right? Let me tell y'all, I feel so free. But I know, Lulu Bells, what you mean, because I've been there. I've had my doubts on love, right? But I still have hope that I can love, right? And you will too. Heart to Fire says, so if we can't get or receive constructive criticism, there's no relationship, just walls. Heart to Fire, come the fuck through. I'm going to have to read that shit again because I don't think y'all heard it. Heart to Fire said, so if we can't get or receive constructive criticism, there's no relationship. There's just walls. That shit is deep right there. That shit right there, Heart to Fire, is deep. You have a relationship of walls. Wow. Pat said, if there's no respect, that is not the person for you. Maybe someone else will be wonderful for that person. Maybe. Ralph said, defensive love is carried over into relations. It's up to his or her partner to slowly break those walls down together. Yes, come through, big little brother. Defensive love is carried over into relationships from prior toxic shit you dealt with. So Ralph is suggesting that when you enter a relationship together, that y'all work on breaking those walls down together, right? This way, you can start pulling each other to the carpet on accountability and be able to communicate that. If those walls are still up there and those walls are still high and solid brick, when you try to call your partner to the carpet to take accountability for something and it's just walls, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be an argument. There's going to be some defensive behavior. Okay. Johnny said, if you've been pouring into someone or explaining or correcting someone for a while about their behavior, you eventually have to take a step back for your sanity. When they are willing to change, you can entertain that conversation because now they are open to receive what you have to say. Now that shit right there is a motherfucking word, y'all. Now Johnny said, I have to do it again. If you've been pouring into someone and complaining about their behavior for a while, I'm paraphrasing now, the fuck, you've been complaining about their behavior for a while, you eventually have to take a step back. That's what I did, y'all. That's why I'm single. You know, you complain, right? The person is not changing. You got a question to ask yourself. Is this behavior something I can accept? If the answer is yes, then rock the fuck on. If the answer is no, you might have to go exit left. Okay. Rashmi said, you can definitely see the difference in your then and now, Robin. Oh, shit. Yeah, I love it. You're back to your authentic self and definitely living your best life. I love it. You know, thank you. Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate that. All right. Natalia said, I agree with Pat to a degree. I need to allow you to be yourself. However, love is also respect, understanding, honesty, compromise, empathy. I had to learn when I didn't have a lot of those things in my relationship, right? You got to know when to go. And I know it's not easy. Motherfucker, listen, I've been in situations, right? But if you're not getting what you need and the person is not adjusting and it's the same, what do? Johnny said, step back. When the person is ready to step up, they'll step up or not. Hey, Soulful BBW. Future said, I realize I've had grief coming at me for the last couple of years. Ending my relationship will cause another grieving process that I cannot handle that right now. Wow. Wow, that's deep. So, Future, right? In this particular situation, you've been living in grief for a period of time, right? And so you're in a situation where you want to end your relationship, sort of, kind of, right? But if you end that relationship right now, it's going to put you in an additional grieving process, right? Everybody has to deal with the shit the way they need to deal with it. Tally said, which applies to all relationships, not just significant others or spouses. That's right, friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, the fuck. We were just talking about disrespectful kids. What does that love language look like with kids, siblings, etc.? Same. Right? Because think about it. These are the kids that's going to take on somebody as a wife or a husband. Right? These are the motherfuckers that's going to take on somebody into a relationship. And if they are disrespectful ass kids, they might be disrespectful ass adults. They might not be. I've seen some disrespectful ass kids grow up into some cool ass adults. But you are absolutely right, Tally. Hey, One Reliable Sim. Heart to Fire said, unpack the baggage and break those walls and chains before getting into any new relationship. Okay. Before getting into any new relationship. What if you don't recognize it until you get into a new relationship? That's where those triggers come in, right? You might think you are good, right? Like, you might think you're healing and you're good and everything is good. And then you get triggered, right? And it takes you to a place. Like Ralph said, sometimes you have to realize that when you enter a relationship, both of you have to break down those walls together, right? See, I don't think when people get defensive, when you tell them about themselves, I think at times that comes from a deeper place. But I'm not a therapist and I'm not a certified life coach, but I think it comes from a deeper place. I think it comes from old shit, right? Old toxic shit. And sometimes people are triggered when you're trying to hold them accountable for things, right? And old shit stirs up in them and you get the bad side of that. You get the defensive walls. How do you break down those defensive walls? Because my opinion is this: if you constantly continue to argue and accountability is never taken, guess what's going to happen to that relationship? Resentment. You're going to start resenting. One person is going to resent the other person for wasting their time, their years, whatever. They're going to be resentful. And when resentment enters a relationship, it is ugly. It is ugly. So if you are in a relationship where every time you enter a conversation with your partner and you're talking about accountability and your partner gets defensive, There might be something deeper to unpack there. Like Hearts of Fire said, unpack that baggage, break those walls. But we people, in order for us to unpack the baggage, right, and break those walls, we have to trust each other. So are you in relationships where you trust your significant other and they trust you to a point where you feel like a safe zone for them? Because this is where walls get broken down, when people feel safe. Do you trust your significant other? See, I was in a whole relationship and I didn't trust my significant other with my feelings and my emotions. So therefore, accountability could never be taken, because each time I went to address things that hurt my feelings, I got chopped the fuck up. And I trusted less and less and less each time. And I talked less and less and less each time. And I harbored all of my feelings and emotions inside. And guess what it did? It made me sad. It made me sad. Right? So people, if you're in relationships where there are defensive walls, y'all need to figure out how to break those walls. Or one person in a relationship or both are going to be fucking miserable. You want to be in a relationship just going through the motions? No. Lulu Bell says triggers mean that you have something unresolved in you. Exactly. And a lot of times, Lulu Bells, you don't know that you have these things unresolved. You know, something happened to me recently that I was triggered. And I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that shit still bothered me. Right? Sometimes things occur and you are triggered, and that's when you realize that you still need to work on some healing. Okay. Hey, protagonist. Good morning. I appreciate you. Tally said communication. She put without in bold ass letters. Communication without comprehension won't matter. Babe. Listen. Communication without comprehension, it won't matter. Oh my God. Tally, I felt that shit. That was like a punch in my throat. I felt that shit. You don't know. I have y'all, I have been in a situation where no matter what the fuck I said, the person just didn't understand the shit. They twist my words. They come out with a different meaning. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like hooked on phonics, something comprehension, reading class. Like, hello, what the fuck in the reading lessons is this? Right? Now I have been in situations in a relationship where I would express something and I'm a great communicator, y'all. I am. I'm a great communicator. I am not shy with my words. Okay. And I communicate, I think, really well. I'm not perfect, but I do good. Okay. And I have had the experience, exactly what you said, Tally, where you're communicating something to somebody, they just don't fucking comprehend it. And it's like beating your head on the fucking wall. Relationship, she said, communication without comprehension, it won't matter. Relationship, it gives and take. We have to be able to really hear each other. That's real, right? Because you could talk to each other, but are you hearing each other? Because I know for damn sure half of the shit that I needed and wanted in a relationship that I was in at the time, they wasn't hearing me. They heard sounds coming out of my mouth. They heard sounds, but they didn't hear the words. They didn't comprehend the words. So guess what? I never got what I needed. No matter how many times I communicated, I never got what I needed. Because they didn't fucking comprehend it. How long are people going to live within these defensive walls and not get what they need? I mean, some of us, you know, we love. We want to have a partner. We don't want to be alone. But we should never put that above happiness. right? And it's something I had to remind myself time and time again throughout my lifetime. Future said, I think being in denial, deflecting, and being defensive are ways to avoid having to do work to be a better person. Y'all are coming through this morning. Listen, y'all are coming through this morning. Listen. Denial, deflecting, and being defensive are all ways to avoid having to do the work to be a better person. Wow. So you're saying, Future, that some people just don't want to make the effort to change. They just want to be who they are. Right? And it's not always about changing, right? Compromise. Right? Because that's the one problem I have. I don't want anybody to change me. I am who I am. You understand? I am who I am. Right? But I also realize when I enter into a relationship, let me know if y'all can hear my fan. When I enter into a relationship, right, that there's going to be a level of compromise that I need to do and still maintain myself. Protagonist says, I'm single because I ain't meet no one who believes in me as much as I believe in myself. Wow. That's deep, Protagonist. That's deep. I get it. I get it. That's that support. You know, you get into relationships, you believe in yourself, you got dreams, you got aspirations, you doing things, right? Or trying. And you with someone who doesn't believe in you. That's hurtful. I get it, Protagonist. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. Tally said, that is sad, Robin. You got to be able to trust your significant other with your feelings. Exactly why I'm single. Right? Exactly. It is sad. It's sad when you're in a relationship and you can't trust your partner with your feelings because there's too many defensive walls and they're not really going to cater to your feelings and emotions, right? And over a period of time, you constantly experience the same hurt over and over again because that person keeps repeating the same shit. And again, you trust that person less and less. Hey, Veronica Madison Beauty. Johnny said, I know most of my triggers, when I see those things, I have a quick process. I used to just run, but now I explain to the other person what I feel and why I feel. I give them space to change. But once I feel that it is abused, I will detach emotionally and eventually leave physically. Wow. That's a great process. When you're triggered, address the triggers right away. I like that. By telling the person how you're feeling at that moment and why you're feeling that way. I love that. I love that. Me, you know, Johnny, I'm glad that you gave that piece of advice, right? Or you shared your coping mechanism with us, because when I'm triggered, I get quiet. I get withdrawn. And I sit in that shit. Or I might cuss your ass the fuck out because I'm mad, right? But that is a good way of addressing your triggers. If you're triggered, just let the person know how you feel and why you feel that way. And yes, Lulu Bells, I'm agreeing with that shit too. Most people leave emotionally. Most relationships end emotionally way before the physical separation. Right? So when we are in relationships with all these defensive walls, guess what the fuck happens, y'all? We start to disconnect emotionally from the relationship. We might physically be in the same space, but emotionally we disconnected. That's not good. Right? That's not good. Protagonist says, I'm also single because first red flag, I'm gone. Damn. He's a runner. He's a track star. I hear that, Protagonist. You know, that comes from Shit. Listen, I ain't mad at you. I'm looking for the red flags too. Okay, some shit just be, when I think I see a red flag, I talk I always talk to Rashmi. It's so funny because somebody was like, "What is your daughter's name?" I said Rashmi, and they were like, "But who is always me?" I said Rashmi. Well, who is Rashmi? Me, that's Rashmi. But to Eric, her name is Rashmi. So yes, it depends on the platform that people are on. They have different names, right? I talk to Rashmi and AG all the time, right? And so if I'm feeling the way, if I see a red flag or I think I see a red flag, I'll be like, I think I see it. They be like, shut the fuck up. No, that was not. I'll be like, oh, so I be getting my red flags confused. Protagonist. So hopefully you're not like me and you don't think everything is a red flag. All right. So Pat said, absolutely, everyone is not on the same intellectual level. So we may not be expecting our loved to read our minds and know where we are coming from when they have not reached your level. Imagine how bad they feel when they know not what you mean. Then they should ask. That's what communication is. Right? If I'm in a relationship and I'm expressing myself to someone, right? And you don't fucking understand what the fuck the words that are coming out of my mouth, then ask me for clarity. The fuck? Don't sit there and argue back with me on some shit you don't understand. If you don't understand, then you ask me to clarify, right? That is communication. Okay? Grown folks in a relationship, if I fucking come to you and I go, babe, this shit that you did made me feel this way, and they looking at me like I got 5 heads, instead of looking at me like I got 5 motherfucking heads, or talking about, oh my God, here we go to fuck again, what you complaining about now? Instead of doing all that, right? Instead of doing the fuck all of that, try just listening to what the fuck I got to say. What's wrong, babe? What's going on? And you sit the fuck down and you talk about it, right? Leave the smart ass remarks for another day. Don't be the person that looks at your significant other and go, oh, they're complaining again. No, motherfuckers, this is what relationships are about. You got to be able to sit down and communicate. If you don't know what the fuck I mean, simply say, you know what, babe? I want to understand where you're coming from. But I got lost on that last point. Can you please explain what you mean on that last point? Fucking communication 101. Ask me. Rashmi said, imagine how they feel. No, imagine how the frustrated person feels. That's that playing victim shit, right? Yeah. If someone comes to you, I never forget a time, and I told y'all this before, that I said something to somebody and they looked at me and they said, you must not have been loved as a little girl. That was a trigger. I immediately stared at my knife butcher block. I did. That was a trigger because I was like, hold up. The fuck? Because I told you that you did something I didn't like. You came back at me and said, you must not have been loved as a... Why would you want to hurt me that way? Because I came to you and told you you did something that hurt my feelings. Now it's my fault. Now I'm a pain in the ass. Now I'm annoying you. So I'm only worried about your feelings. You're not worried about mine. What we doing? Right? Communication, people. Accountability. Because for sure, people leave relationships emotionally first. Okay? Yes, mother, I was. But, when somebody says that to you and they know that you've had a hard life, that was hurtful to say. It was hurtful to say, because whether I was loved or not as a child, why would you say that to your partner? Why would you say that to your significant other? Why? Because your defensive walls are up and you're trying to back me up by hurting me. Okay? That's not healthy, y'all. So if y'all are in relationships where you go to your significant other and you bring up a topic or a subject or your feelings, and they are automatically defensive, you need to do some self-assessment. You need to analyze your relationship and see how you can navigate the rest of your years through a relationship where you can't have effective communication. You know, everybody thinks bad relationships are when people cheat on you or when people beat you. There's so many, variations of bad relationships. You don't just leave people when they cheat on you. You don't just leave people because they beat on you. There's other reasons people leave people, because you're emotionally neglected. That's a reason. That's a reason to leave someone. You don't feel emotionally cared for. Your feelings are not do not matter to the next person. That's a reason to leave. Because then you have to ask yourself, can you be happy in a relationship knowing that the other person does not take your feelings into account? Can you be happy with that? Tally said that defensive mentality and behavior is a form me syndrome. Like, it's so cliche, but love should not hurt. If you express you hurt me, there should be empathy. Right. If you tell your partner you hurt me, there should be empathy. They may not realize what they did, but once they have been told, it should be more about fixing the issue, not deflecting the behavior. Oh my God, that's a fucking word, and I can't even share it on the screen, y'all, because she's on IG. But Tally said, once you expressed the issue about being hurt to your significant other, or you've raised an issue to your significant other, okay? At that point, the goal should be fixing the issue, not deflecting the behavior. Wow. That's some deep shit. That's some deep shit. Hey, Royalty Expressions, good morning. Cheryl Lee said, I believe that you also need to be able to recognize also what's miscommunication, and when you are dealing with a narcissistic person, or when you're dealing with narcissism. Wow. How about that? You're right, Cheryl. I've experienced it. You're right. And let me tell you something. When you look up narcissism, what does it say? It says no matter those people don't change. Everywhere I looked up narcissism or narcissistic behavior, everywhere I looked and researched and read up on it, because I know some narcissistic people and I want them to change. But everywhere I researched and looked, it said narcissism is not curable, y'all. These motherfuckers are narcissistic forever. They don't change. They don't change. How do you define whether your partner is narcissistic or not? Pat said, he who knows not knows that he knows not is a scholar. Teach him. He who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool. Avoid him. Biblical. He who knows and knows that he knows is wise. Follow him. We have to fix ourselves. No one can do it for us. Is that biblical, or is that Gandhi? I know it's one of them. Hey, Black Ice, right? Right. Teach him. But people got to be open and want to be taught, Pat. Some people, I have experienced people that are know-it-alls. They don't want to be taught. They think they already know it. They don't want to be taught. Okay? Now the fool, avoid him. Avoid the fool. But in all seriousness, people, a lot of people stay in relationships because they go, well, he's not cheating on me. Well, he's not beating me. Those are not the only reasons why we keep relationships, right? Relationships are supposed to be stimulating, right? Mentally and physically. And if you're not stimulated in a good way, then why do you stay? Why do you stay? Some of them are on YouTube, black guys, and Facebook. They spreading out. Why do you continue in relationships where you're not being, cared for emotionally? It's something to think about. And if you're in a relationship where you cannot, when you're bringing your partner, when you're bringing accountability to the table in your relationship, and your partner is not accepting accountability because there's so many defensive walls, maybe you guys need to step back and talk about what these defensive walls are. Okay. One. Okay. And work on breaking down those defensive walls, because until that happens, communication is not going to be right. And we know communication is key in a successful and healthy relationship. If you're not getting what you need, and you're not able to go to your partner and express your feelings, and them accept that and open up with proper, healthy communication, what are we doing? No one is perfect, baby girls and baby boys. No one is perfect, right? So there's going to be accountability that needs to be taken on both sides throughout the lifetime of our relationship. And if we can't get past that, how the fuck we gonna have a relationship? Can't. True Black Ice. Now Black Ice done came on here now, y'all. He said people stay for security even when they're not getting what they need in relationships. We know that, right? All kinds of security, not just money, emotional security, all kinds of security, right? And then Black Ice said, and they scared to be by themselves. There are a lot of people who are afraid to be alone. I wasn't sure how I was, I'm lying because, I've been single before, right? And so I don't know. Hey, Ian, good morning. I don't know, I thought about it for a quick minute when I separated from my marriage. I was like, am I going to be sad being alone? But I love it. I'm enjoying my life, y'all. There's nothing more beautiful than knowing that you freed yourself from a situation where you were unhappy, right? And you step back into your most authentic self. The one promise I'm giving myself, I already gave myself. The one promise that I'm keeping, okay, is that I will always be my authentic self, right? But if I take on a new relationship, right, I know that I need to have good forms of communication. I need to make sure that I don't have any defensive walls up, and I need to stand in my accountability because I am not perfect. These are all the things that I'm working on well in advance before entering a new relationship. Okay? Accountability. Accountability should not turn into defensive arguments. It shouldn't. And with that, y'all, that's a word from Raw to the Bone. And this was Coffee with Friends, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Black Ice, they spreading around. Some people are on Facebook, some people on YouTube. I'm pushing my YouTube page, Coffee with Friends After Dark, y'all. I said it was going to boot up in February, and I'm late. So we're going to push it to March. I had a hectic month this month. It was. And I just didn't get all my ducks in a row. But I promise you guys, let me go to Jamaica, get my vacation in, because my ass is tired and worn down. Let me get my vacation in. Let me get that fucking sexy ass tan. Hopefully I don't have no tan lines. Y'all know what that means, right? and come back here and do Coffee with Friends after dark. All right. YouTube is how you get paid. So I watch here now. Thank you, Protagonist. You know, thank you for supporting my growth. Exactly. Exactly. I need more people to follow my YouTube page because Coffee with Friends After Dark is going to be on YouTube. So y'all got to come to YouTube. Follow me on YouTube and Facebook, or you'll miss Coffee with Friends After Dark. I don't think I'm booting up Coffee with Friends After Dark on IG. Sorry. IG, I got to save my IG page. I don't want IG coming for me. All right. Hey, Doc Holiday. But anyway, y'all, this was Coffee with Friends. And, you know, the one thing I say is, you know, I talk to a lot of friends and we talk about their relationships, you know, the good and the bad, right? And one of the common things that I hear in relationships is that people get into arguments when they're trying to express themselves, right? And that's the one thing that baffles me. Like, why should me expressing how I feel cause you to be upset? Do you love me? I love you. I care about how you feel. I want to adjust behavior if it's hurting you. So why do people get upset? Why do they get defensive? Right? Because I think sometimes it comes from a deeper place. So people, if you're in a situation where you have a partner that gets very defensive, maybe you need to start asking other questions like, you know, what's going on with you? This is something more. It gotta be. Because if I can't come to my man, or if I can't come to my woman and say, I'm hurt, you hurt me, or I feel like you're not supportive, and have a decent conversation, then what the fuck are we doing? Why are we even in the relationship together? Why are we forcing things? I'm telling you. Okay? Thank you, Protagonist. Let me share this, because, you know, let me share. Protagonist is letting y'all know I need 1,000 subscribers, okay, and 4,000 hours. All right. So if you truly support Raw, come on YouTube. That's what Protagonist is saying. Do what Protagonist said. Come on YouTube. Help a sister out. Thank you, Protagonist. I appreciate that. Pat said, and the right man will love you with all your imperfections, maybe even with them. I love it. I know he will. I'm positive that will happen for me. Okay? But as long as I stay my most authentic self, what you see is what the fuck you get. Also, okay, Cheryl Lee, listen, they telling y'all what to do. Cheryl Lee said also hit the like button. It matters. So if you are following me on YouTube and you are watching my show on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up. Even add a comment. Hey, Roy, how you doing? Good morning. Give me comments. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube, y'all. This is very important. If y'all support me, okay, in helping me grow my platform, hit that thumbs up. Okay, if you're on IG and you're joining IG, hit the hearts, y'all. It matters. If you're on Facebook, hit the like button, comment. It matters. This is free support. In my bio, Doc Holiday. My link tree is in my bio. You'll find my YouTube channel there. Okay, make sure you go and you subscribe. But Doc, don't just hit subscribe. When y'all go to YouTube, don't just hit subscribe, because they're gonna erase your subscription. Okay, you gotta hit subscribe, watch a video, comment, hit the like button. You know, YouTube is very funny because they know that you can monetize on YouTube. So they don't take follow for follows, right? So they need to see that you are engaging in people's videos, okay? So if you want to find me on YouTube, go to the link in my bio. You will find the links to my whole world. YouTube link is there, okay? Thank you, Protagonist. I appreciate that. I learned we need to date in our intelligence bracket as a scholarship recipient. I am too smart for basic brain girls. Oh, that's a topic. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Protagonist. That's a topic. Do you date within your intelligence bracket? Wow. That's a topic, right? Or do you date below your intelligence? Like if you a college graduate, do you date somebody that didn't finish the 10th grade? Wow, protagonist, I'm gonna make that fucking shit a topic because I need to know. All right, you too smart for basic brain girls. The fuck? Right. We got to talk about that. Do you date within your educational level? What the fuck? That's not a bad question, though. That's not a bad question. Black Eye says, we don't like change. The way my life is set up, the YouTube and IG are yin and yang. Baby mama versus main chick. Yup. Exactly, Black Eyes. I know the feeling. I know it. I know it. Right? I know it. But guys, I appreciate you joining. We will certainly be back tomorrow for Facebook and YouTube. Peace out, y'all. And for
months, I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
If you have a dream, don't just sit there. Get your ass up and make something happen.